Kenzie Johnston with Livestock Digital Daily, bringing you your December 1st cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by AgRisk Advisors. They help you manage your risk so you can manage your operation. With over 20 years of experience, AgRisk Advisors provide honest and transparent advice. They offer insurance solutions to help you minimize risk and maximize profitability on your farming and ranching operations. They might not be able to make it rain, but they can sure ease the pain. If you want to learn more about pasture, rangeland, forage insurance, go ahead and reach out to AgRisk Advisors. They can help you understand what PRF insurance is all about and everything it can do for your operation. The cattle range has reported the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, also known as FMCSA, has denied a petition to provide an hours of service exemption to haulers of livestock, insects, and aquatic animals. The livestock industry will retain the 150-mile air radius exemption on the front and back of a shipment. In November of 2018, as we can all remember, numerous cattle and agricultural organizations asked the agency to exempt its drivers from portions of hours of service regulations. These groups petitioned the agency in hopes of changing the rules so drivers wouldn't be forced to stop on long hauls. These required stops force livestock to stand on trailers for up to 10 hours. But FMCSA has determined the petition does not show that drivers would be able to reach the same level of safety with the exemption. The agency claims the hours of service regulations impose limits on when and how long an individual may drive to ensure that drivers stay awake and they stay alert, and to reduce the possibility of cumulative fatigue. Talk about a blow to the livestock industry. This update is also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. If you want to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Almost every week, they're hosting classes somewhere between Texas and Tennessee. They do a phenomenal job. If you want to check out their schedule, head on over to circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there, or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. One Green Planet has reported a 26-story skyscraper, the world's largest single-building pig farm, has opened in China. The apartment-like building is expected to slaughter about 1.2 million pigs per year. The massive building is the country's answer to keep up with domestic pork demand. As you can remember, in recent years, their hog herd over there in China has just been decimated by the swine flu. One of the biggest concerns with this building, as you would expect, is waste. Farmers and residents in the area are deeply concerned about an odor issue, but the company who owns and operates the building claims the waste will be treated to generate biogas. Another concern with the massive operation is the risk of infectious pathogen spread and amplification due to such a high density of animals in such a small area. And as I just said, China dealt with swine flu. It took out their hog herd. And then you put in a building that just shoves as many hogs in it as possible. It just looks like a hotbed, a disaster ready to happen. It just looks like swine flu could come in there and it would just be a disaster. It spread like wildfire. Drovers has reported Japan's parliament has given final approval to a deal amending a beef safeguard mechanism under the U.S.-Japan trade agreement. The change will reduce the probability that U.S. beef could be hit with higher Japanese tariffs, according to the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative. In 2021, the U.S. was the top beef exporting country in the world, with global sales of beef and beef products valued at over $10 billion. Exports of U.S. beef to Japan totaled almost $2.4 billion in 2021, making Japan the second largest U.S. beef market. Our final sponsor for this update is Open Country LLC. Dan McMartin has Bunning 380 and 780 manure spreaders on his lot, along with various other livestock equipment. Open Country also carries Gallagher products for 15% off every day, all day. If you want to learn more and check out everything that they have to offer, head on over to www.opencountrylllc.com. Finally, the Associated Press has reported, according to Nebraska ag officials, the state's 13th case of bird flu has been discovered on an egg-laying farm in northeast Dixon County, which is about 120 miles north of Omaha, Nebraska. The 1.8 million chickens living on the operation will now be destroyed. Just this year, more than 52.3 million birds in 46 states, mostly chickens and turkeys on commercial farms, have been slaughtered due to the current bird flu outbreak. Iowa is leading the way with 15.5 million birds being killed. Nebraska follows in second place with 6.8 million birds. In most past bird flu outbreaks, the virus largely dies off during the summer, but this year's version found a way to linger and started to make a resurgence this fall, with more than 6 million birds being killed just in September. Brownfield Ag News and DTN Progressive Farmer has reported some good news. On Wednesday, Congress, in a bipartisan vote, passed a bill to avert a national rail strike. The bill passed on a 290 to 137 vote, and it will now move to the Senate, where it needs 60 votes. Of course, this is great news. However, we have to keep in mind that the railroad's deadline for a strike is December 9th, 9 days away, and we all know how slow Congress actually moves. Hopefully they can get this bill passed so our railroads do not shut down. That is all I have for you guys today. That's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you have all had a great week. I hope you guys have stayed warm. It has just been downright frigid here in central Nebraska. You guys have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you next week.